All right, we're live. We had some technical difficulties earlier. Probably the Russians. Could be the
Hmm.
DNC. Uh, could be ISIS, or it's probably the Russians because 9 times out of 10 it's the Russians.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got a loaded show for you guys tonight, and we start, a few minutes early, but oh well. Um, yeah, so let's start with what happened earlier this week. Earlier this week, a horrific terrorist attack happened in New York City. A guy who probably was ISIS related, rammed his car down a street full of bikers, killed 8, injured I think 12 or 16 other people. Um,
I
thoughts and
think,
prayers,
yeah,
thoughts and prayers go
I
out to
agree.
victims and families of that horrific incident. Go ahead, Henry.
I think it was a one-way street he went down.
Really? Because I saw some bikes.
Maybe he ran up on the sidewalk or something. Well, now, I think bicycles can kind of blend in
Mm-hmm.
with traffic. They can kind of, as long as they're
Mm-hmm.
careful,
Yeah.
because they have bike messengers in New York City also.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a horrific tragedy. The president said they should give him the death penalty. That kind of caused a little controversy because the guy has not been put on trial yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful, because the defense attorney could turn that into, well, how's he going to get a fair trial if the president says he needs to get the death penalty?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and plus, the stupid mainstream media, came out and said, "Well, how come he didn't say that the Las Vegas shooter should get the death penalty?" He
Oh
was
yeah,
already dead. He was already
yeah,
dead.
dumb shits. Yes, some idiot put out.
Exactly.
So some idiot put out a tweet. Some idiot woman put out a tweet.
I know. I'm like, okay, first off, he was already dead. So what are you trying to do? Bring the dead man to trial? That's virtually impossible to do. So, so yeah, I don't know about these idiots. These idiots are just plain stupid.
Oh yeah, oh
But
yeah.
yeah,
Are you gonna put a dead man on trial? Is that what you're gonna do? Duh.
trying to dead man on trial. Well, I've heard that before. I've heard that somewhere.
Hmm.
Probably in one of
Just
those TV shows. But put a dead man on trial. That's nearly impossible to do. But
true.
yeah. So another horrific terrorist attack happened this past week, and it's starting to get like Europe, but we're not at that point quite yet. Where there's like a terrorist attack every single month, like Europe has been, but we're close to getting there.
We are. We are. I mean, this kind of stuff has got to stop. I mean, the Trump administration. I mean, they're doing. I think they're doing very well with deportations and things like that. But
Hmm. Yeah, and
you
this terrorist attack sparked up a discussion about chain migration and the diversity lotto. I've never even heard of chain
oh
migration.
yeah. Well, you can blame. You
Heard
can
of the
thank.
diversity lotto.
You can thank old Chucky Schmucky Schumer, that asshole, for this.
Basically, Chuck Schumer. Basically, the blood is on Chuck Schumer's hands on this.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, because he approved this, and basically, what chain migration and the diversity lotto is that someone gets picked out of a random ticket, I guess, and then they can bring in their family members, they can bring in friends, they can bring in whoever they want, and it's just a system that needs to be shut down, and that I've never even heard of it until President Trump brought it up, and I think most of America probably hasn't even heard of it.
They probably haven't. I wouldn't imagine that most Americans have heard of this. I've never heard of it
Mm.
myself. But certainly, yes, the administration needs to crack down even more on this now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think once they crack down on the chain migration slash diversity lotto, um, yeah, Yeah, the EU actually has something like that, and I forgot what it was called, but it's some sort of diversity lotto where anybody can come in. But in the United States, they can crack down on it and probably put a stop to all this. Once we get the border, once we deport like all these terrorist gangs and stuff like that, I think the attacks can be under control.
I think so. Yeah, and Chuck Schumer, he's one of the first. He was one of the first to criticize the Trump administration when this happened. It's like, hey, asshole! It was because of your It was because of you.
Yeah.
So go screw yourself.
Exactly.
Chuck you.
That's great. Hashtag Chuck you.
Yeah.
That is great. But so any last comments on the terrorist attack?
Well, I mean, we just need to keep an eye on these people and look into their histories. Obviously.
Yeah.
Study people's histories. Oh, it's but the left's like, it's profiling. No, it's not profiling. We're trying to keep Americans safe.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's what it is. It's about keeping Americans safe. It's not about profiling.
Yeah. I mean, you have to profile if you want to keep America safe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a big difference between profiling and keeping people safe. And profiling is basically like, automatically judging, but, vetting and making sure that they're not, any type of terrorist related is keeping America safe. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think hopefully the Trump administration in the next couple of years, and yes, I do say 8 years because he's going to get reelected. In the years ahead can basically control all this, be able to control all the migration and immigration and all the and the whatever, the terror and the refugees and all that, control that and bring in the good people in, bring in the people that wants to be free, that wants to have freedoms, that wants to be able to get away from all of the abuse that their government has given them all those years across seas and in different nations.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, we had such a lousy vetting process under Obama.
We had no vetting process.
Right. We had no vetting process under Obama. Yeah. But now we have a real president in there who is willing to vet and have these individuals vetted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the first step in making sure that we stay safe.
Yeah. Absolutely. But let's get down to the big, humongous revelation that happened this week. Donna Brazile.
Oh, yeah.
Has a book. New book out. Hacked. The story of the DNC election, I guess. The subtitle is. But Hacked. Donna Brazile. So Politico released a segment of her book, a chapter of her book. And she said basically that Hillary Clinton bought the DNC so that they can give her the nomination. So basically what Donna Brazile said is that after the 8 years of Obama, the DNC was basically virtually broke, in debt up to their eyeballs. And Hillary came in, and peddled her slush fund and said, you know what, I'm gonna fund you guys if you give me the nomination. And the DNC said, okay, we'll give you the nomination if you give us all the money to be able to keep afloat. So basically what they did is they rigged the primaries against Bernie Sanders with Hillary Clinton and her superdelegates. Yes, I remember the superdelegates. She had 500 superdelegates, and Bernie Sanders had no virtual process of winning the nomination at all because it was in her favor from the beginning. And I actually talked about that on Facebook during the election. I was like, Bernie Sanders is being screwed. And I don't like Bernie Sanders. At the time, I did. But then he, for some odd reason, endorsed Hillary. And Hillary is everything that he stood against. And I knew that he was, an establishment figurehead now because he endorsed Hillary. So they screwed Bernie out of the nomination, and basically Bernie bent over and took it. And yeah, he did. He bent over and took it.
He
He rolled,
did, yeah.
he bent over and took it. Now they did this. They tried the same process with President Trump, but Trump, kept calling him out and said, "Hey, this is going to be rigged, guys. Watch out. This is going to be rigged." Bernie,
Yep.
he didn't mention nothing about being rigged. He didn't mention nothing about Hillary buying the election. She bought the election. She bought the primaries.
Yeah.
She thought she could buy the general election too, but she got up a rude awakening. But yeah, so Donna Brazile, I guess she got a rude awakening on that. But Donna Brazile and has turned on Hillary Clinton. If you remember, the same Donna Brazile was the one that gave her the questions for the debate.
Yep, she did.
So now Donna Brazile has turned on Hillary Clinton. Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, came out today and said that the primaries is rigged against Bernie. So
yeah,
Elizabeth Warren, the Hillary Clinton lapdog.
But when she said it, she looked very conflicted. She almost looked like she didn't want to say it.
Yeah. But she said it. She said there was
because
rigged.
She was a big booster of Hillary Clinton, as we all know.
Yeah, she was Hillary Clinton's lapdog, and now so her lapdog has turned on Hillary Clinton. So I see a pattern here. It seems like the DNC is trying to hang Hillary Clinton out to dry. They are turning on Hillary. They do not want her anymore. From what I've read and seen, is that the DNC is basically saying, get rid of Hillary or you guys are not going to get any more money. So the DNC is trying to wash their hands away of Hillary.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. Yeah. I actually don't see that happening. I don't see Hillary going down without a fight.
I have to agree on that. They're throwing her under the bus, is what they're doing. And especially Elizabeth Warren, because she may be setting up a run in 2020.
Yeah. So she's trying to distance herself away from Hillary.
Uh-huh.
Which is going to be virtually impossible because, the internet lives on. All right? The internet lives on. And all those times she praised Hillary and be her lapdog and all that is going to come back and haunt her.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's just. I personally think they should just eat each other.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're turning on each other.
Yeah, and hey, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna pop some popcorn. I'm just gonna watch.
Yeah, I would too, because like I said, I don't see Hillary going down without a fight. Hillary knows where all the bodies are buried, so they're going to have to do some major work on Hillary.
I want to see them all destroy each other. Like I say, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
We won't see Shane. We won't have to do a thing. We can just sit back, pop our popcorn, maybe order pizza, sit back with our favorite beverage, and say, "Go at it."
Open up a cold one. Yep, go at it. Let's see what happens next. But yeah, it's not shocking to me that they did rig the Bernie primary because I kind of assumed that they did. I think almost everybody knew that they rigged it against him, except for like the brain dead people. It's like, oh, it's not rigged. They can't rig elections.
Yep.
I think if Bernie would have came out and specifically stated that they're rigging it against him, then they would have stopped. They would have. Yeah. He would have won the nomination, but he didn't do that.
And there's a good possibility he could have beat Trump.
I don't see that happening. I really didn't. I don't think Bernie would have won. I really wouldn't have, because I think during the debates, Trump would have killed him in economics because he knows business. And Bernie is just way out in fantasy land, and he's going to say, "We're going to give free college to the college students," and Trump is going to be like, "You can't do that. You can't give college to students."
It's a pretty good Bernie impersonation. Hey, Leo.
Hi, guys.
Hello. I'm going to give you some free college, some free health care, and I'm going to make the top 1% pay for it.
And you're going to drive what we tell you to drive and live where we tell you to live.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to retire in my 10 mansions that I have because I am in the 1%.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Who was it? That Larry David, the guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's
Oh, he
actually
did a great job.
he's actually
He did a
played
great
Bernie Sanders. Yeah,
He did a great
Saturday Night
Bernie
Live.
Sanders.
Yeah.
He's actually somehow related to Bernie Sanders. They did a DNA test on the
Wow.
PBS. You know that PBS show? That PBS show where they get these celebrities and they do like DNA tests and see where they came at. They're actually like distant cousins from each other.
I figured that. There is quite a resemblance between Larry David and Bernie Sanders.
I think I had heard something about that. Ended up that they were distantly related.
Mm-hmm.
Ironic. Okay. Before we go any further, I have something I want to talk about briefly, if you all don't mind.
Right ahead.
I don't know if you guys have heard, but Fred Kaney's uncle died last night in a boating accident.
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure if it was the Rockfish River, but somewhere near and around Richmond, whatever river.
Mm-hmm.
There were three fellas in the boat, and the boat flipped over. Haven't heard how yet. Two guys made it to shore, and he didn't. It was yesterday late afternoon or early evening, and they searched. I don't know if they searched all night, but they searched last night, and they searched this morning, and they found him about the middle of the morning, and he did not survive.
Oh wow.
He was about 70 years old, and Fred is very upset, and of course. So let's all say a prayer for Fred Kaney and all his family.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Thoughts and prayers go out to him and his
Absolutely, yeah.
And anyone that else was involved as well.
And that seems to be the most common. That seems to be the most common way of people drowning is their boat flips over.
Yeah.
Well, Connie said today in a post that they said there was no water in his lungs, so they felt like the boat may have hit him, or he had hit the boat.
Ooh.
That's possible. That's entirely possible.
And and died before he actually got in the water. But
the impact of it.
Yeah, but they're gonna wait on the autopsy, but to see for certain. But we certainly do send our prayers to all of the people involved and the rescuers, the searchers too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, I just wanted to put that in and get that done. And, thank you.
Yeah, that's all right. You're welcome.
I saw the posts about it last night. I think it may have been on your page, Lael.
I shared it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Very.
Excuse
me. Very sad situation.
Absolutely.
Yes, very sad. But
someone so close like that.
If he loved to fish, then that was a good way for him to go.
I agree.
Look at it that way.
I know this story is horrible and everything, but I'm glad that they found the body. Things they can't find, why they found the body.
So,
yes, exactly.
Sometimes it depends on what kind of currents are in that particular body of water.
Yeah.
Sometimes they never find the bodies.
Exactly. Yeah. But they did. Yes, they did recover the body. So, that does help with closure too.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. After I'm depressed.
So, that's all right. Let's see here. So I was talking about Donna Brazile saying that they basically rigged the primaries against Bernie and Hillary so that they can stay afloat because the DNC was severely in debt after Obama's president. And yeah, I can see that because we're still in $20 trillion worth of debt, the year's debt because of Obama. So
Exactly.
made the DNC in debt. But we was talking about the DNC is basically washing their hands of Hillary. Bill sees the whiting on the wall. He hasn't, said anything at all.
Not late.
Bill knows. As much as I hate Bill Clinton, he still knows what's going on. He knows more than Hillary does.
Yeah,
Hillary
he does.
Bill is like, these people don't want us here. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. And he did do a tweet today saying it's 25 years since I've been elected president. I think he probably got a black eye because of that.
How
Oh
much?
yeah, he's bragging. He's bragging. Yeah. We don't.
Absolutely.
I was going to say was that you almost kind of feel sorry for Bernie Sanders because he got screwed.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, I would feel sorry for him if he didn't, bend over and took it.
Yeah. That's why I said you almost feel sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders has never done a thing in his life but work in the system.
Mm-hmm.
And was he not smart enough to know that Hillary was and that crowd was going to push him out, or did he have enough arrogance to think he could beat Hillary? Because he could not have beat Hillary, I don't think.
Absolutely. Against him, he could have beat Hillary.
But
he didn't rig it.
Neither one of them obviously could beat Trump.
Because they had the super delegates. Yeah, I don't think Bernie would have beaten Trump. The debates would have been great than the Hillary Clinton-Trump debate. I think the Sanders-Trump debate would have been fan-freaking-tastic.
Oh, Trump.
Bernie is a poor debater.
Yeah.
And we saw that with the debates with Hillary. And he just, flopped.
Hillary is a good debater, but she has to really practice.
Yeah.
See, whereas Bill is better on the fly.
Yeah.
Than Hillary. And Hillary is a good debater, but she has got to study, and practice.
And get Donna Brazile to give her the questions beforehand.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's always a help.
Yeah, but it's going to be an interesting months ahead coming up to the midterm elections. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the midterms.
Well, it's 1 year away, actually. So
yeah,
next November. Yeah.
Yep. And I will be voting for an all pro-Trump ticket. I will.
And we know that some of these rhinos are not going to run again, like Bob Corker and Jeff Flake. Yeah. Jeff Flake.
Yeah.
Jeff Fake. Yep, he is a fake.
Who is going on? I wonder.
I don't know.
Well, since Jeff Flake has dropped out, that means that Kelly Ward is going. I think Kelly Ward is. I'm not sure if there's anybody else running against Kelly Ward in Arizona, as far as on the Republican side.
No, is she going to go up against McCain?
I don't think so. No, she was in against Jeff Flake.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do we think that McCain will run again, or will he stop now?
Well, he's going to run again. He's going to run again so he can screw over Trump and the American people.
If he runs again, and even if he wins, he's not going to live much longer.
Yeah, I don't see him living much longer either. I'd be surprised if he. I'd be surprised if he lives until next November.
Yeah, same here.
He's that bad off. He's that bad off more than he's letting on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't wish ill on anybody, and I don't. Sometimes I say I wish they die, and I don't mean it. It's an expression, and I really don't wish ill on anybody. But I would think, why wouldn't he just stay home and live out what he's got left, enjoying his grandbaby?
Because he's got so much hate that he wants to screw over the American people and screw over Trump. He's one of the old globalists in the hope that
he probably
to death.
He probably figures that hatred is going to keep him alive.
Karma.
Well,
Karma's coming back and bite him in the ass.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I saw a new jobs report today. The unemployment is way better.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Well, yeah, because they're not cooking the numbers like the Obama administration did.
Exactly. Yeah, the Obama and they cooked the numbers on deportations too. Oh, we deported 17 million people, and 14 million of them came over 3 times in one day, and they sent them back 3 times in one day, and they counted all 3 times as a single deportation.
Yep.
What a bunch of...
Well, that was the Obama administration that did that crap.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I know, but...
So, but now I mean, we have a real administration in there that's actually doing what they're supposed to do.
Exactly. Thank you, dear Lord in heaven.
All right, so last week we left off with a cliffhanger. CNN reported there's going to be indictments Monday, and boy, were there ever indictments. Paul Manafort basically turned himself into the FBI, along with his associate, a Mr. Gates, I think. I think it's Bob Gates. I want to say Bob.
Oh, was it William Gates? I think. I can't remember.
It might be William.
Well, he wasn't the guy that was. He wasn't. He's not to be confused with Robert Gates. You know, who was it head of the CIA?
Yeah, I think so.
Or FBI? I can't remember exactly. But yeah, I mean,
but the indictment was not related to Russia, not even related to the Trump campaign. I mean, the indictment was for stuff that he did, 5-6 years ago. It had nothing to do with Russia.
Yeah. Well, what's the saying? Russia, Russia, Russia.
Russia, Russia, Russia.
You know, CNN doesn't have to say that part.
Yeah.
They don't have to say that it didn't have anything to do with Russia. They can infer it and just leave it at that.
Well, I mean, that's what the left is good at doing. They're good at inferring things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess that's not really a big surprise.
No.
That they would. I mean, they're still trying to get Trump on the Russian stuff.
Yeah.
And the more they try, the more they screw themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Mueller still needs to recuse himself.
Yeah, Mueller needs, or at least Trump needs to have Jeff Sessions appoint a special prosecutor for the Uranium One deal. And Roger Stone was saying this. He needs to appoint a special prosecutor so there be no firing of Mueller. Because if you fire Mueller, then all hell is just going to break loose. So just have Jeff Sessions appoint a special prosecutor for the Uranium One deal. But, however, it was reported today that Jeff Sessions recused himself from the Uranium One deal.
He should not do that. why should he recuse himself? He has nothing to do with all that.
You think Jeff Sessions has been compromised?
It's entirely possible. And well, now we have this new report, which I think is fake news, about Jeff Sessions being involved in some meeting that he claims he wasn't at.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. If I was Trump, I would take Jeff Sessions off of Attorney General, put him on Department of Homeland Security, fill Kelly's place,
Mm-hmm.
and hire a new Attorney General. And it can be Rudy Giuliani, it can be Trey Gowdy, it can be Judge Napolitano. It
Yeah,
can be any of those people.
any of those, yeah. Any of those would are hard hitters.
I have to agree. I'm not so sure. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm not so sure that's what we're going to see, though. And it's really sad. It's tragic that
No.
that we're not going to be able to see that. You know. Oh, it's thundering. We're under a severe.
It was raining earlier here.
We're under a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock local time. So.
I'm not checking the weather here, but it's been fair and 70 all day. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what else. So there's this guy, George Papadopoulos.
Oh yeah, that guy.
yeah,
Who apparently lied to the FBI. And now it's come out that he may have been a Mueller plant. And that he wore a wire and everything and tried to get Trump, and with all these meetings with Russia, and Trump didn't bite. Apparently George Papadopoulos wasn't even a major, didn't even have a major role into the campaign. He was just a low volunteer person. So I don't see George Papadopoulos doing anything, and I don't see him. I think it's just a big nothing burger.
Oh yeah, it is a big nothing burger. I mean, the guy, I don't trust that guy as far as I can throw him, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the president, as much as I'm a big fan of his, he needs to really drain the swamp and get rid of these.
Mm-hmm.
let's go to Obama people, number one, and then go to the slack ass Republicans and dump some of them and get some new blood that's willing to work and do
I agree with you, Henry. I'm a huge Trump supporter, but we have to hold his feet to the fire and say, hey, do something. Get rid of these Obama people. Get rid of these holdovers. Get rid of the neocons. Get rid of the people that's against your agenda, for your agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And then get something done.
Exactly. I mean, he's got to do this. I mean, if he doesn't, I mean, his administration is going to continue to be compromised, and I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, neither do I.
No, but it's still only been 10 months into the first year, and there's a lot on his agenda every day and every time, you know.
You think he's doing too much at once? You think he should do the stuff that needs to be done first and then do the rest later on? Maybe even through a second term.
I think he needs to.
Because he's got the wall, he's got the health care, he's got tax reform. Those are the three major ones.
There's so much, and you can't do but so much at a time. And I think, yes, he needs to pick 2 or 3 of the most important things, really work on them, and a few other things, start working on that on the side. And, you know, but you can't do everything at one time.
Yeah.
It's impossible. So I don't know. He's doing the best he can do, and I feel
Mhm.
certain of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
even with all the obstruction.
Yeah, I agree. He's doing what he can, but but of course he's being blocked at every turn by some of these little weasels.
Yeah, and especially these political judges that keeps on, temporary banning everything.
Yes. This
Paul Manafort and Gates plead not guilty. Their bail is set at $10 million, and they are on house arrest.
oh,
And I saw somewhere they said that the Manafort trial is going to be in May of next year. I'm curious as to see why they want to drag it out that long.
Well, the left, they think, oh, this is what we're finally going to get him on. This is what we're finally going to get Trump on. We're going to get him. We're going to get him out of office, and then get Mike Pence. Get Mike Pence in. Yeah, get Mike Pence in there. Yeah.
Yeah, their mindset is like, well, if we get Mike Pence and Trump out, then we can install Hillary. Well, that's not how it works.
and it's not going to happen.
Unfortunately, if Trump is somehow removed, Mike Pence has to appoint a vice president. And if Mike Pence is clean, he would not appoint Paul Ryan as vice president. He would appoint someone else. But if he isn't clean, then he would probably appoint Paul Ryan. And then, you know how the left is. They're going to be like, well, we got to get Mike Pence out. He's corrupt too. And then it'll be President Paul Ryan. I'll just throw up in my mouth a little bit. And then Paul Ryan will...
That would make anybody throw up in their mouth.
And then Paul Ryan will appoint his VP, and God knows who he's going to pick.
Yep, exactly. It's just...
Yeah, at this point, he couldn't be sure.
Yeah. But also on the Mueller investigation is the Podesta brothers. Tony Podesta, he resigns from the lobbying group that he was attached to because Mueller is probing it. Is the Mueller, is that going to bring down the Clintons as well? Is he trying to bring down Trump and the Clintons, Mueller?
I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know either. I mean,
personally, I don't trust Mueller any further than I can throw him.
Yeah, I don't either. He's got nothing.
But every time I hear the name Mueller, I think Mueller, 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 Mueller,
Mueller.
I can just hear Ben Stein saying that.
Mueller. He's got nothing. He's got a nothing burger. But what isn't a nothing burger is Hollywood. Hollywood is imploding from the inside out. It started with the Harvey Weinstein nuclear bomb, and it took over Hollywood. Now Kevin Spacey is being charged with groping underage boys now. The kid was 14. And then another guy came out. He was 15. And his House of Cards that they've been touched by Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey took to his Twitter account and apologized, and he said he's gay because apparently saying you're gay just, automatically erases everything you've done, touching little kids.
For the liberals, not for the conservatives.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see how now Kevin Spacey, he's trying to deflect away from the fact that he, molested little boys.
Yeah. And the media is helping him do that too.
By saying that, oh, I'm gay.
It's like, and the media is, in on it too, because the media's headline is like, oh, Kevin Spacey comes out as gay. What about the little asterisk right next to it? He touched a 15-year-old. He groped a 14-year-old.
Yep.
The thing is, I don't care. If you're gay and you're a nice, decent person, I don't care. Do what you feel like doing. As long as you ain't hurting anybody else,
Yeah.
do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Exactly.
this whole mess that the LGBT and all have got going now about pedophilia
Yeah.
not being a crime and all of that thing.
Mhm.
No, I will not go there.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're gay,
Yeah, I think that's what the LGBTQ ABCDEFG is. Missing. They're missing the big P on their sign for pedophilia.
Uh-huh.
I think that group is such a disgusting, so disgraceful. I mean, you've probably seen those gay pride parades where they have the naked men standing out in front of kids on the street.
and who would take their kid to that unless you were
Yeah,
start with?
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, my kid doesn't want to see naked men standing on the street.
Nope.
I don't want to see
I
that.
don't want to see that.
Exactly, and that's supposed to be illegal too.
Yeah. That's called indecent exposure.
Indecent exposure. Not only, and plus you're in front of the kids, so you're a sexual offender now. So, and why aren't they charging these people with that?
Because pedophilia is a true thing that people have, and it's not wrong for them to
Yeah.
feel that way. Blah blah.
Yeah, they're trying to make pedophilia normal. They're trying to normalize pedophilia, and it's absolutely disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
If you're gay, okay. When you're grown, fine.
Hmm.
Don't touch children.
Mhm.
Whether you're heterosexual, bisexual, gay, lesbian, do not touch children.
Yep.
I agree.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you, one Hollywood star that I admire who's really coming out against the pedophilia and is telling the truth about it is Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. He's like, getting money and naming names and making movies now because of that. And actually, Roseanne tweeted to Corey and said, "Have Corey DM me because I have the information that he needs."
Wow.
Wow.
That's great.
Good.
There was something. Oh, there's a movie. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched most of it. It's called An Open Secret.
Oh, I wanted to watch that so bad. I forgot to.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Great. I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's called An Open Secret. It's all about these child stars
Mhm.
who they talk about how some of these agents and some of these other individuals
Yeah.
would sexually come on to them.
Hmm.
So this kind of stuff is happening. I mean, in
It's
Hollywood.
Happen.
Yeah, and what's surprising to me is that the Hollywood elite is hanging Harvey Weinstein out to dry, and nobody knows who Harvey Weinstein was. We didn't even know who he was. We had to look him up, and we found out he was a movie producer.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a big star, Kevin Spacey, who's like well known, everybody in the household name, a household name. Now they're coming out and said that he's been, sexually assaulting underage kids,
Yeah.
underage boys. And it's surprising to see that they're hanging out a well-known star to dry like that.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see more and more of these big getting exposed.
Well, there are.
Well, I wonder how many people that Alec Baldwin groped in his lifetime.
Oh, yeah. Really good question.
I would love to see. I love to see the people that called him groped him.
Wasn't
I think that'd be great. Take them down.
Alec that I saw the Twitter post or whatever from today? It was one of the Baldwins, and it won't Steven. It was Alec or Billy. It was probably Alec that said he had treated women like crap for years, and he admitted it, and he shouldn't have, but he had. And you know how liberal he is.
Oh, I can't stand Alec Baldwin.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, I can't believe his bad impersonation of Trump won him an Emmy.
how stupid.
The Oscars are rigged. The Emmys are rigged.
Of course
Stephen
they are.
Stephen Baldwin, found God.
Yeah,
Mhm.
He's from liberal to conservative, and the
yeah,
family has darn near thrown him out.
Yeah.
yep. He's sensible Baldwin. But then
Yeah,
you got Adam Baldwin, who is no relation to the Baldwin family. He's conservative also.
Sweet.
He's a good actor too.
Going back
okay,
to
yeah.
Kevin
But yeah, I don't care for the Baldwins except
Spacey.
maybe Stephen now.
Mhm.
What's that, Shane? You were starting to break up some. It may be on my end because of the storm going on.
The a popular LBGT
See, yeah, you're breaking up, Shane.
Oh, I thought it was on my end. I thought maybe it was the storms.
No, it's Shane. He was breaking up last time.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, them Russians. We're talking about Hillary Clinton. We're talking about Hollywood.
and whatever.
Yeah, he is. He's breaking real bad.
Yes, I still, I still am floored by the liberals trying to say the Russians helped Trump win. When the hell would they help Trump win? That is the stupidest thing. Oh God, what a bunch of idiots! And I know they think we're idiots, okay, but
Yeah. Well, of course they do.
because they're smarter than we are. We're just Bible thumping, gun toting rednecks, you know, barefoot and pregnant.
I think Shane's frozen.
Shane, unfreeze.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Want me to send him a?
But I'm sure, and I'm fairly sure that this kind of stuff has been happening for years in Hollywood, and it's just now coming to the surface.
Oh yeah.
There's been pedophilia and things like that going on.
Well,
And there's, of course, there's threats of blacklisting also. It's like if you talk about this, you could be blacklisted from Hollywood.
that's I was going to say a few minutes ago. I think that there are a lot of decent people in Hollywood, but they worry about having work and
Mm-hmm.
they just kept their mouths shut even though they hated it or against it.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and once a certain number come out and you've got a small crowd to join, it's easier for you to join too. And
Mm-hmm.
say, yes, I know, and I don't like it, not, you know.
Well, that's like that documentary I watched. I was Open Secret. Those kids. These child stars. They start out, at like early ages. Some of them start out like 3 years old, 4 years old. And they come up and they get agents, and their agents turn out to be sexual perverts and things like that. And they're afraid. They're afraid to tell anybody because they want. Well, number one, these are kids. They think this is normal. Number two, because they don't know any better, because they're kids. Number two, they could be blacklisted.
And another thing is, not just within Hollywood, but we've always heard for years that predators on children tell them, "I'll kill your family."
Yeah. Yep.
I'll kill your mommy if you tell anybody,
Yep.
or
Exactly.
and that kind of thing too. Here he is.
See
Can you
if
hear me now?
any better now.
How about now?
It's better now. Yeah.
Great.
So far, fingers crossed.
All right. So what I was saying is, in a popular LGBT magazine, The Advocate has admitted that they knew about the Anthony Ray rap sexual harassment against Kevin Spacey in 2001, but they kept the mystery name. They kept his identity hidden.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not the Hollywood keeping things hidden. It's the mainstream media keeping things hidden as well.
Well, it's like I was telling Lael, this sexual harassment and child pedophilia and all that been going on, I'm sure, for years in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it's been going on thousands of years, to some extent, too. You know. But yeah, and Hollywood's. We were saying while you were out rebooting that, and I said there. I think there are so many decent people in Hollywood who know, but are scared of their livelihood to speak out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they'll get blacklisted and they won't work in the town again. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I knew someone, raped a kid or anything, I wouldn't care about my Hollywood lifestyle. I'll expose them right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I'll risk my
too.
life to it. I'll risk my life.
I think I would too. Children, you don't mess with youngins like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No.
Children are a gift from God, and they are our most valuable, prized possessions. And you don't, like I said to Henry, you touch my son, buddy, I'll take your head off. Whether it's all that or my rifle.
Absolutely.
Goodbye. You don't touch my child.
No.
Oh, speaking of touching, let me add this in right here. I got my my son James is 14. And he's been real close to this little girl for about 10 months now, maybe, at school, since last year and through the summer and into this year. I got a call yesterday or the day before from the vice principal, and they had been called kissing goodbye by the buses first thing in the morning, and it was the second incident. And they had been warned, and the second incident they got written up, and the third incident, if it occurs, they'll have to do after school detention or something. And it really doesn't bother me. But I mean, I want him to be careful and safe. But they have been together a long time. And
he's a teenager. He's gonna want to figure out. He wants to figure out
show affection.
Yeah, he wants to figure out kissing and things like that.
Well,
It sounds perfectly innocent to me. It sounds perfectly innocent.
Yeah, I don't get schools. They call it public display of affection, or PDA.
Yeah.
That's what we call. That's what they called it back in high school for us. Apparently, it's illegal to do that. I mean, you can't hold hands, you can't kiss, you can't touch.
When I was in high school,
absolutely ridiculous.
All of us couples sat together or stood together in the halls, and we didn't make out so much, but we were together and we kissed. And if a teacher come by, they'd say, "Okay, you don't need to be doing that here," and we'd say, "Okay." When the teacher got out of sight, we just went on about our business.
Now it's suspension and detention if you do that, which is absolutely stupid.
I understand that, though, and this is a small school. There's like 600 students, kindergarten to 8th grade. And it's small, local. I understand in big cities and big schools, there are mean boys, mean girls that do things and push themselves on people, and I agree, a no tolerance rule is okay. But anyway, at the same time, Michael,
Just make sure he gets consent, because if he ever runs for politics, that girl might take him down and said it wasn't consensual.
oh yeah. But anyway, that was my big news this week. Speaking of relationships or affection.
Well,
anyway,
NFL news. So I mentioned Wednesday night that Papa John's has recalled every single commercial from the NFL, and
well, that's because the CEO, the guy we see on the commercials, that's the CEO of Papa John's.
Yep.
He realized, hey, we're losing business because of this stuff.
Yep.
So
very smart CEO.
Yeah.
Well, and Pizza Hut responded and said, "We're not losing customers."
Maybe
I don't believe that for a second. With Papa John, and so the NFL
I like Papa John's, but I prefer Domino's. We have like 4 pizza places here. We got Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's, Little Caesars. We just had Little Caesars that reopened because we used to have one years ago, which was also part of a TCBY, and it was part of our gas. They were in our one of our gas stations, one of the convenience stores. They closed it up, and now they've opened a freestanding Little Caesars.
Sweet. Yeah, we got Domino's, we got Pizza Hut, and we got Little Caesars, and we got Papa John's.
Yeah, and I like all of those.
But
I liked Little Caesars better years ago when it was pizza, and you got the big square pizzas come in the big.
Oh yeah, those are good.
But you can't beat it to stop and grab a $5 pepperoni pizza on the way home.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the best pizza in the world, but it's decent pizza. It's hot and it's good.
Yep.
You know.
Absolutely. I mean, but going back to the NFL, things are just keep on getting worse and worse for them. Today, actually, the NFL actually rewarded a disabled Navy veteran for an award that actually declined the award because of the NFL protesting that's going on.
Good for him. Yeah.
Good.
So let me see here. This week, the backlash when a disabled Navy veteran said he declined to accept a reward at a New Orleans Saint football game due to the controversy over the players protesting the national anthem.
Hey, I'm from a Navy family, so salute.
But the NFL tried to save face from the controversy to award Commander John Wells, the executive director of the Military Veterans Advocacy, with the People's Health Champion Award during last week in New Orleans. But the offer telling the team that because of the protests. So we have Papa John's pulling their commercials from NFL games. We have a Navy veteran rejecting an offer for the reward. We have the fans not even show up on games anymore. If you can see, videos and photos of half-empty stadiums during these games.
Oh yeah,
the NFL is killing itself. The NFL, they're playing Russian roulette, and they're pulling the trigger, and they're hitting every single time. Every single time. So what a day to live history and to be alive this time period. I mean, the NFL is killing itself. Hollywood, the elite, is exploding, popping up. There's child molesters everywhere in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And we have the DNC. They're collapsing.
Yeah.
It's like, they're in a burning house and they're drinking their coffee, so everything's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. It's not fine. In reality, it's not fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, yeah, the NFL is kind of like Baghdad Bob. Oh, nothing's going wrong here. Everything is fine. Pay no attention to those half-empty. Pay no attention to those half-empty stands up there.
Exactly.
Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention.
Yeah, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Well,
speaking of the man, are we finished with the NFL? Let's finish that first.
Any last comments on the NFL?
No.
Once, going twice. All right, go ahead, Leo.
I've never been a super football fan, but I can watch it. I understand the game, and I can keep up with it, and I can watch it. But I'm a NASCAR person myself.
Mm-hmm.
But they did it to themselves. Which one of the dudes was it that said being an NFL player is like being a slave? You're owned, and and he lives in a $14 million mansion. No, that is not like being like a slave.
Mm-hmm.
You signed a contract or you don't.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just rips me off. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. The guy said, "Oh, that's systematic oppression."
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know what systematic oppression is.
No. If you ever did, you've forgotten. Living in your big house, Christ.
Speaking of Little Caesars, apparently liberals are rallying around Little Caesars amid Papa John threats.
Oh. Well, good for Little Caesars. They could probably use the business.
Wow.
Well, this is liberal.
Yeah, it's liberal. We got to boycott Papa John's because they don't support whatever.
Yeah, ridiculous. Just it's rank insanity is what it is.
Yeah. So, big day. The big Antifa day.
Oh yes, Antifa.
There's going to be burning down buildings and vandalism and some injured people because they're going to beat people up and hit them with bike clocks and everything. So, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Because they built this thing up to be big and huge. Are they going to fall on their face?
Probably. If police come out and form these big cities
and aren't told to hold back.
Yeah.
Well, the Democratic cities, they are going to be told to hell back. They're going to be told to stand
Well,
back.
of course they are.
That's the thing. What Jeff Sessions needs to do is investigate these people that's been telling these police to stand down. Right to do that.
Exactly.
One thing we forgot to mention earlier is that now President Trump is saying that Jeff Sessions needs to prosecute Hillary.
Yeah.
Over the rigging thing and buying the DNC. And I agree.
I agree
Yeah,
too. I mean, Jeff Sessions needs to appoint a special prosecutor for this.
Yeah.
It's like, I like Jeff Sessions, but if he's not going to do his job as Attorney General, just step down. That's all you have
yeah,
to
just
do. Go on your way, or have Trump reappoint you to
He does not
somewhere
need.
else.
He does not need to recuse himself. He does not need to. The man does not need to recuse himself. I don't understand why he's recusing himself. He should be right there in the thick of it. He should tell him, screw you. I'm not recusing myself.
Maybe the Clintons told him that if he didn't, he'd commit suicide.
It's possible. But those Obama holdovers is what's killing the Justice Department. And the State Department. And all of the departments where the Obama holdovers is at. But back to Antifa and their day of
well, I mean, not only are we going to have Antifa tomorrow, but we're going to have, I don't know if it's Antifa or what, that's going to scream into the sky on Wednesday, anniversary of the election.
Yeah. So, it's going to be a big, humongous mess tomorrow, and we'll definitely cover it. Webcasting Dead. If this riot's going on, we'll watch it live as it's happening.
Yeah.
But going back to the millennials and Antifa, there was a poll. 4 in 10 U.S. millennials would prefer to live under a socialism than capitalism. These people are being indicted. They are being not indicted, but indoctrinated by the communist teachers, by the communists supporting liberal schools that they're attending.
Yeah, they are.
I cannot
And not only this, only 36, meanwhile, express a very unfavorable view of communism. Even be insulted to be called the communist. They don't support communism.
What?
What is wrong with these people?
What is it? My God.
So the survey reveals that more millennials prefer to live under a socialist regime than a capitalist one. Although only about 1/3 of the respondents was able to successfully define the term socialism.
Yeah.
Socialism is communism light. It's pre-communism.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Once you enter a socialist regime, it in a few years it become full frontal communism.
It cannot be. Look at the communes in the 60s. Peace and love and LSD and pop.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man.
Let's tune in, drop out, and whatever they do.
And all
He's not here, man.
All the pictures that I see from the hippie communes in the 60s. I was born in 66. But all the pictures, not all, but a majority of the pictures I see flashback, you know, the peace and love, and it's all like the men are all like sitting around half naked with long hair and beards.
I found that offensive.
And doing drugs and whatever. And the women have on like half raggedy sack dresses. There's 3 or 4 dirty faced children.
Yeah. Armpit hair running everywhere.
And
not to mention there's other areas that they don't shave.
The bush.
Trying to cook on fire and wash dishes in a bucket. what the hell was so great about that? It was still what or liberals are arguing now about men think they're superior. The damn hippies wasn't nothing but what had already been going on. The women were doing all the crap work, and babies were running around dirty, and men were sitting back screwing women all they wanted and doing drugs.
all the hippies at Woodstock, yeah. You know, they got to play in the mud. You know, they
the article,
and none of those communes lasted it.
Yeah.
More than 4 in 10 U.S. millennials would prefer to live under socialism than capitalism, according to a new survey by the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation. When given the choice to pick a preferred system of government, 44% of millennials responded that they would rather live in a socialist country, while another 7% opted for a communist state. Capitalism, on the other hand, would prefer by 42% of the millennial response, with the remaining percent split even fascism and communism. Pro-socialist sentiment is much higher among millennials when compared to the rest of the country, noting that 59% of Americans say that they were in a capitalist country, with only 35% of respondents signaling for a preference for a socialist state. Were also about twice as likely as the general population to say they would prefer living in a fascist or communist country, with about 7% choosing for each option. The percentage of millennials who would prefer socialism to capitalism is a full 10 points higher than that of the general population. The foundation observed in its report, America's largest generation socialist or communist society than in a free enterprise system that respects the rule of law, private property, and limited government. I also found millennials, along with most other Americans, either don't want communism or misidentify it. 5% of millennials, for instance, correctly identify the definition of communism compared to 31% with socialism. Similarly, and similarly, 33% were able to match with this definition, while 22% thought the definition referred to communism. Other findings, the survey also revealed that millennials are least opposed to the communist compared to other age groups. 6% of millennials said that they held a very unfavorable opinion of communism, 15 points lower than the next closest cohort. And while a majority of respondents from every other generation said they would be, just 44% of millennials express a similar aversion. Isn't back. It never left. VCMF concludes not. We simply forgot about it. And as it rears its ugly head once more, openly and shamelessly, we seem far less prepared to meet the challenge in its century as we did in its last. Yeah, I mean, we have these pro-communist teachers, we have these pro-communist colleges, pro-socialist teachers, pro-socialist college, that's indoctrinating these students, that's brainwashing these students into thinking, oh, capitalism is bad. Well, take a look at your iPhone X. Take a look at your Apple computer. The free market that was made by capitalism. You know, all those people that's lined up to get the next fucking iPhone that's fucking $1,000 better realize that capitalism made it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's how pissed off I am.
Actually, my local news story is going to be about the iPhone 10. By the way, when we get to that,
yeah, how many freaking people's lined up already to get it? 100,000?
Yeah, exactly.
And
many are
half of them are going to be millennials. You know, those college kids. You go and interview one of them, who they voted for. Oh, I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary because he wanted to.
Yeah.
And why? Well,
I mean, I got a phone like this for $74. Verizon.
Yeah, yeah.
It has much the same functionality
Verizon
as the phone, and for much less the cost.
Yep.
And here's the thing: the new iPhones, you know, they're scanning your faces, the biometric data. They're getting your fingerprints. All right, so that technology right there is sketchy within itself. Why would you do that? Why would you scan your face so that Apple can take it and use it somewhere else?
Because you're a big idiot.
And wait in line for 7 freaking hours just to get the damn thing.
Because to a lot of people, even though they espouse equality for all and whatnot, they still want to have the newest and the trendiest, and it's so hypocritical, and shows us in America who still have or try to have some morals and values and decency about us. It shows us how much they don't.
Yeah. I guarantee you, much on a phone like this, maybe more than you can with an iPhone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I don't get it. I mean, why would you spend $1,000 freaking dollars when you can get a phone for about $40 and it still has just about the same stuff?
Exactly. I mean, this is about the same size. This is about the same size as an iPhone, too.
Yeah, what is that, like a 6.1 inch, 6.2?
Something like that, yeah.
Because you got to have what your friends, your liberal friends have got the $1,000 iPhone, and damn it, you got to have one too, or they might laugh.
So the people that's buying the $1,000 iPhone, are they in the top 1%? So should we tax them for being wealthy? Should we tax them higher?
You know what? Well, no, you know what I mean. Maybe we should put a 30% tax on a $1,000 iPhone.
Yeah.
People would still buy it.
Yeah, they would.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't either.
As long as it'll take a picture and give me a message and call and let me call, that's all I need. You know, it's a phone.
I guarantee what you're paying for is the brand name. I think that's what you're paying for with that iPhone. You're paying for the brand name.
Mm-hmm.
I think
you're paying for the name, and you know that fingerprint scan and the face recognition. That's pricey within itself too. So you're paying for that as well.
Yep, and the people making them and selling them and making billions of dollars every year are yelling liberal, liberal, liberal too. Mm-hmm. And the liberals are buying them.
Yep.
Yep. They are.
Let's get even more work done. Bergdahl. Military judge spared Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl from prison.
Oh, yes.
In 2009.
What a pile of CRAP.
Go ahead and say it.
It is.
On Friday to a dishonorable discharge and a reduction in rank, but no time behind bars. Now, he was kidnapped by Al-Qaeda, wasn't he?
So he said. He wasn't kidnapped. He ran off. His parents were Muslim, sympathetics to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Sympathizers. I knew sympathetics weren't right, but sympathizers to start with,
Mm-hmm.
which we found out after the big ceremony with Obama at the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, don't
may
forget
have-
how we got. Don't forget how we got Bo Bergdahl back. Although we shouldn't have gotten him back, we got him back because Obama traded 5 terrorists out of Gitmo for this guy.
What the hell?
and
Stupidest deal.
and 6 men killed trying to go and get him.
Yep.
And save him.
Yep.
And Obama.
So Bergdahl, so this is on the mainstream news, NBC. Bergdahl walked off from his base in Afghanistan on June 30th, 2009, and was captured by the Taliban within hours.
Yeah.
He walked off, and
He was what?
immediately got
Taliban?
captured.
Oh man.
He immediately got captured by the Taliban within hours.
Well, if you were on a base in Afghanistan, I would think you would have some idea which directions the Taliban were in,
Mm-hmm.
because you're there to fight them and keep up with where the hell they're at.
Mm-hmm. And plus,
Well,
not
of
only
course, it's
that,
claimed that he was.
the judge.
I was going
was
to say it's
Obama
claimed.
appointee.
It's
Oh well, there you go. There you go.
what
See?
it's claimed.
I was going to say it's claimed that he was captured by the Taliban. Do we really know for sure? Or did he willingly say, "Hey, what's up"?
Mm.
We do not know for sure. In my gut,
Well, no, we don't.
Mhm.
I think he deserted.
Yeah.
And whether they captured him or he just went and joined up with them,
Yep.
I don't know. But they didn't kill him, and they kill every damn body else.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't they kill him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And did they?
I mean,
did
Yeah.
they use him, and he knowingly let them use him to get the damn dudes out of Guantanamo?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, plain simple. I think this guy went AWOL. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think he went AWOL, and I think he walked right on over and said, "What up, dude?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
And I
I'm right here. Come capture me.
think that they roughed him up, or he roughed himself up, or something a little bit.
He did what Jim Carrey did in Liar Liar. He went to the bathroom and beat himself up and said the Taliban did it.
But when they got him back, and I remember seeing it on the news, he did look a little beat up, a little skinny fella anyway.
Mhm.
And if you're living out in the damn desert with the Taliban, you ain't gonna look that great no way. He didn't look like he had been beat the living hell out of.
Yeah.
He looked a little roughed up and tired, or skinny, but
Yeah,
he
that
he
sort of
didn't
thing should
look
raise.
bad.
That sort of thing should be slinging up red flags everywhere.
Mhm.
You know,
There,
because
there definitely needs to be an investigation in this.
he didn't look like other people we've seen that have been held hostage
Mhm.
for any period of time.
Was it when he
6
came out? Was he clean shaven and everything?
I don't think so. But
I don't really
cannot
remember
think.
if he was. I don't remember if he was or not.
Because if he was clean shaven, then that right there is a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was, but don't quote me on it. because I can't say for sure.
The man should have
Men
been, the man should have been court.
Yeah, he should have been court-martialed.
Yeah, he should have been court-martialed. He should have been thrown in the brig
At least 20
for desertion.
At least 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
service.
And collaborate.
Leavenworth. There you go. Go to Leavenworth. Send him to Leavenworth. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Collaborate.
That's what they should have done.
And who knows what, if he was captured by the Taliban, who knows what he told them about the military operations and what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he could have spilled some secrets for all we know.
Yeah.
Well, Trump's not happy about the verdict.
Yeah. I don't think anybody is.
He wasn't.
Trump probably won't do anything about it.
I don't think he can.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There, it might not be much he could do, but it was made apparent shortly after the big celebration of getting him back and whatever that his mom and daddy were sympathizers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Muslim sympathizers way back when. And that makes you wonder about the whole shebang,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It does make you wonder.
Yep. Sorry, SOB.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
I agree. We was talking about the iPhone 10, and Zero Hedge has a picture of a broken iPhone 10. I'll let you guys take a look at that.
Let's see here.
Now, that's a little better.
Yeah, I can see it kind of. Yeah.
Let me do the function. How about that? That looks a little better.
Not break your iPhone.
Do not break your iPhone X.
Yeah. $1,000 right there in the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I dropped my concrete from about 2.5 foot up the other day, and it didn't break, and I was very thankful.
And this phone right here, I spent $300 on. It's a S4. This thing's been dropped. I don't know how many times. Broke. Nothing. No bump sproof. Nothing.
I very seldom drop mine, but I did the other day. I was at the doctor's office.
I dropped mine the other day, and it landed face first on the concrete. Great. No scratches. No.
Well, that's like my old LG phone that I used before I got my new one. I would drop this, the casing off, the battery would fall out and everything, but it stayed. There's no crack. There's no nothing in it. These are tough phones. These LGs, that's some tough phones, man. I'm telling you.
Good thing Hillary didn't have these phones because the hammer won't break it.
Yeah.
Oh, Hillary. Bill
let's see.
Really just drag her off to the Caribbean or South America or some damn where out of the way, buy himself a big mansion, and they've got enough money to live comfortably the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And that's what they should do. And I think Bill has maybe got over the power hungriness, but Hillary has not. Hillary, what the hell you gonna do? You're 70 whatever years old. How damn much more money do you need? You're not gonna live 20 years tops.
And she can't take it with her.
And you can't. And Chelsea and her husband are making shitloads, and they'll get Bill's shitloads of money. But Hillary cannot. I think Bill has made peace that he had his power, and he's done and older now. Hillary has got to have that power. She is addicted to the power.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah, Hillary, she's stubborn and hard-headed. And I can tell because I'm stubborn and hard-headed too.
She's a bitch.
She's
a power-hungry bitch.
Capital C, capital U, capital N, capital T.
Yeah, she's that too.
I don't know how Bill has not beat the shit out of her once or twice in the last 40 years. And I mean, seriously, I don't.
In this book, it talks about Hillary beating Bill up.
Yeah.
It seems like Bill is afraid of Hillary.
I think so. And I have had a friend or two through my life that beat the hell out of their husbands, and their husbands did nothing but stand there and say no, 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 and try to hold them off and push them back, and never hit them, never touched them. But occasionally the husband might push a little too hard, trying to get her away, and she's like, "You push me, you did I'm calling." Jesus Christ! The man did nothing but defend himself. He never hit her. Statistically,
yeah, that I know. That book he held up is by Roger Stone.
Who got banned this week.
Yeah.
CNN and
he also
he
also wrote a book about the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great transition, Henry, because JFK files. More of them came out. Files.
Oh, more have come out. Aha.
In those files, it stated that LBJ was a part of the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I know.
Also,
I'm not surprised by that.
And also, it also stated that that Hitler may have been alive after World War II, and that he actually did went down South America.
I've heard that too.
And there's files, yeah.
I think
well, that has been a popular rumor for a long time about Hitler. You know, actually surviving after he supposedly committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has been a long time.
But those things that right there being in JFK files, I think that's the validity to that rumor. I think there's some truth to that rumor.
And a few of his other.
Because there's been numerous reports of Hitler sightings back then. And then there's that TV show, Hunting Hitler. They found like Nazi memorabilia down there as well.
Zodiac killer was never caught.
Yeah, I know. Lyndon Johnson was president, I think, when I was born.
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam and all of that, and he was not a great fella. He was.
Nope, he was not.
He was mean and nasty and ugly, and he was a Democrat.
He was an SOB, basically. LBJ was an SOB.
Yes, he was. Mm-hmm. And
and I was talking to my dad. I was talking to my dad last week, and I brought up about the LBJ possibly being responsible for JFK death. He said, "No, it wasn't LBJ." He said, "Actually, it was a Secret Service agent. His gun accidentally went off, and that's what killed Kennedy."
Interesting.
But they'll never release that. But they will never release that to the public. Now he said that bullets did not hit JFK. They hit the governor of Texas, who was in the same car, but they didn't hit JFK.
And when the Secret Service man drew to shoot at the would-be assassin, he accidentally discharged his gun and hit Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what my dad said. Yeah. So that would not shock me. That would not shock me. Because remember, when JFK was hit, he looked like he got hit from the front. Remember, Oswald was up here in the book depository.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was holding his throat like that. Because when the bullet came, JFK, and then that's when.
And remember, too, though, the reason he ducked or fell or didn't duck, or the way he did, or the reason Jackie dove over top of him was because he had that brace on around his middle. What was the ailment he had with his back or whatever, and he had a brace on, so he couldn't just dive forward.
I believe that was as a result of PT-109. And that's why he had to wear the brace.
Could be.
I think that yeah, I believe that's what that was when he was in the Navy.
Yeah, because he couldn't just dive right over forward like most of them can, because he was braced from his waist to his armpits. So if he heard a shot, he didn't have but so many ways to go. And then and Jack.
So the brace kind of held him back. The brace kind of held him back a little bit.
Yeah. From doing what a healthier person could have jumped and laid in the floor or whatever.
Yeah.
He didn't have that mobility.
And that was why Jackie did what she did. There was that idiot that said, "Oh, Jackie took out a revolver or pistol, or whatever, from her purse. She shot him." Oh, how ludicrous! That's absolute.
That's kind of
must have been.
Yeah,
I don't believe college professor.
I've seen that video.
I don't believe that at all.
I don't see any suspicious movements by Jackie Kennedy.
No. Oh, not at all.
No, I've seen it a lot.
She didn't do it. She didn't do anything.
I don't. Yeah.
She was trying to help him. She was trying to protect him.
Yes, she was.
That's what. She was trying to protect him. She would have taken the bullet for him, probably.
She tried to help him get ducked, and she kind of laid over top of him.
She
did,
yeah.
In 7 seconds. Or, it wasn't like it was a 20-minute ordeal. It all happened so fast. You don't have time but do so much. And, I think she would have took the bullet from him. I would for him. I would for my husband, or, hell, probably anybody.
That happened at 12:30 p.m. Central Time. November 22nd, 1963.
Yeah.
And I mean that was just a. From what I understand, because I wasn't born yet, so from what I understand, that was just a really. That day was just.
Yeah.
It broke America.
That's the second presidential assassination in history.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm trying to find what I saw about the JFK autopsy. And from what I saw was that the autopsy concluded that there was a bullet wound coming from the front. But the bullet came in through the front instead of the back. I can't find that now. But if I find it, what I'll do is I'll post a link in the description below.
Yeah,
let's see here.
Right.
That was one in the front and one in the back.
From what I saw was that the bullet entered through the front where his throat was at. And it went out through the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it made a small hole in his throat, and then footage. It's pretty gruesome. That's pretty gruesome. That footage.
Mm-hmm.
Leroy Blevins, he's the guy who he's really been looking into the JFK assassination. Also, Bill Miller and MK Davis have looked into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like MK.
MK was the one. He actually made some video files of where his head like that. Whoa! I mean, that's just gruesome.
It is. It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen. Someone like that getting their brains blown out.
Yeah.
But Trump is on a big Asian trip, and he might be meeting with Putin in Vietnam. Some more Russian collusion. Some more Russian collusion.
That's right. He's going on a trip.
They're plotting,
overseas trip.
They're plotting for the 2020 election. You heard it here first, folks. Trump and Putin is plotting for the 2020 election.
Who in the...
So,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, who in the hell are the Democrats going to put up for election next time?
Like I said, there's a possibility of that goofy Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren.
She's in the front. I can see Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Oh, Kamala Harris, yeah.
Kamala.
Shane gets the reference. Shane gets the reference.
Who was his manager? The dude with the safari outfit and the mask. What was his name?
Was it Kimchi?
Yeah, Kimchi, I think. Yeah, is he going to run?
They have nobody. They have nobody.
No.
That'll match.
I mean, they said that Oprah's in the running. They got The Rock that's supposed to run.
I don't even think Oprah could get.
Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, Dwayne Johnson. To
run. Oprah's supposed to run. Mark Cuban's supposed to run.
Oprah.
President Oprah.
Oprah is
winning.
lucky she is still on TV. So she has been. Since Obama started running 10 years ago, her ratings have decreased. A lot of people still watch her, but since she
has her own network now.
Mm-hmm.
But since she supported Obama so much, and she's gone now, instead of being for blacks and whites and everybody, she's now gone just for blacks. And I've lost a lot of respect for her.
Yeah, I don't like Oprah.
I used to, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
And
I'm watching Live PD, and they had to catch a pig. They had to catch a little pig. Somebody's pig got loose. A cute little I'm not sure if it's a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig or what. It's cute.
Cool. It ain't fun. And it gets tiresome, and I have had enough pigs for my whole life.
Years ago, there was somebody here who had a pig. They had it out front. They had a little pen for it, a little pot-bellied pig.
Yeah.
I like to get one of them teacup pigs.
Oh, those are cute.
I want to get one of those tiny, tiny, tiny rabbits.
Oh, yeah, this is awesome.
I got a hamster that I inherited. I didn't want it. In fact, I got two. I gave one away, and I was giving this one away, but we had a gerbil for, several years that little gerbil lived. And I got where I kind of liked him, and so I gave one hamster away to a good home. But I'm thinking I might keep this second one because he's fun to talk to, and look at it.
Yeah.
I got him.
My
and-
nieces had a little. My nieces had a little a guinea pig. It was a guinea pig. His name was Nibbles, and he was so cute. He'd get up on your shoulder. He'd try to nibble on your ear a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Right, but he liked to snuggle. He liked to snuggle with you.
Yeah.
He poor little thing.
That's cool.
He passed away. He passed away a few years ago, about 2 years ago. But he was sweet. He was a sweet little guinea pig.
Yeah. I might keep the little hamster. I call him Nutty Buddy.
And the thing is, he would nibble. It really doesn't hurt. It just kind of surprises you a little bit. It doesn't really hurt.
Yeah.
It's just like a pinch. It's like a little pinch.
I tell you what, one of them damn things bite you. Woo! And in the finger, and you know, when you get a good cut in your finger, it'll bleed and bleed and bleed.
Yeah.
Bleed.
Yeah.
Even
Like a paper cut.
Yeah.
You know, but I kind of like this. I don't know. I think I might keep my Nutty Buddy.
You should keep them.
Anything else coming over the wire, Shane?
Yeah. So George Soros is in the news, and not very good. And I'll read the article. A shocking new lawsuit claims that a top investment fund manager for George Soros, who was featured in Liar's Poker, ran a human trafficking enterprise in which he raped, electrocuted, and imprisoned women in New York City sex dungeon. The claims leveled at Soros insider Howie Rubin make Harvey Weinstein look like a choir boy.
Oh, man.
According to the Daily Mail, Howie Rubin, 62, is accused of raping and beating 3 women in an apartment. According to the lawsuit, he hit one so hard that her breast implant flipped. He allegedly shocked one of his victims with a cattle prod before raping her. Another alleged victim claims that he threatened to rape her like his daughter. The women are all models from Florida who said Rubin contacted them through Instagram. Rubin came out of retirement in 2008 to work for Soros' fund management. Rubin has been married since 1985 and has 3 children.
Oh, God.
3 identified plaintiffs, 2 including Playboy playmates, claimed the married father raped and beat them to the point that they needed extensive medical attention, court papers say.
I hope they slam his ass and lock him up forever. Sorry, son of a...
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
I agree.
Yep.
I just could not, you know, I can sit here and say I'd like to hit that person in the head with a ball bat
Mm-hmm.
because I'm so disgusted with something they have done.
Mm-hmm.
But who in the hell actually does that kind of thing?
Yeah. The one of the plaintiffs, they said, was tied up, gagged, and shocked with a cattle prod in her groin before Rubin allegedly raped her.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
What a sorry.
I hope this takes
Human-
down Soros, too. I hope he takes him down, too.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
great.
do too. Yeah.
This dude needs to be sentenced to life in prison.
On a related note, and I did not read the story. Maybe one of you all did, but I saw today a post that said a Black Lives Matter leader had figured out what was
I
going
saw it. The black guy, he did a video. He used to be with Black Lives Matter, and he says that Black Lives Matter is now being owned by George Soros, and that they're
Yes.
using you guys, and that you need to wake up.
Yes.
All that.
How wonderful. Now,
Yeah.
whether
More and more people need to start waking up like that.
whether anybody pays attention
Yep.
to it, who knows? But yes, thank God he stood up and said what he felt and the truth.
Whoa. We got some breaking news out here.
Uh-oh.
Now it's being reported that Jeff Sessions never recused himself from Uranium One
Oh.
via government. Let's see here. Oregon. says that Attorney General Sessions never recused Uranium One. Posted today from Fairfax for Limited Government Rick Manning today to issue the following statement in response to press reports stating that Attorney General Jeff Sessions has recused himself from the Uranium One case. Americans for Limited Government has learned from an unimpeachable source that Attorney General Jeff Sessions has not recused himself from the Uranium One case. In fact, the fact that the Attorney General ended up non-disclosure agreement for the Uranium One whistleblower provides proof that Sessions is actively involved in the Uranium One case.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the Attorney General cannot conduct any investigations through press releases and sound bites, allowing the rest of us to receive a blow-by-blow description of every action that might be underway. The Attorney General is in game on Uranium One, contrary to some reports. Interesting. Quite interesting.
Very. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah, that whole uranium mess gonna bite Hillary and Obama in the butt big time.
Yeah.
I just saw a new post here. Corey Feldman admits shocking information is the latest.
Yeah, Corey Feldman. Did he release any names yet? Because I read that he did, but I didn't know what names he released.
I don't know. I'll click on it and see. Hill's identity of abuser he claims is pedophile, but God only knows how far I had to scroll down to find out. Revealing accusation on the Dr. Oz show.
Yeah, I saw that. He went on Dr. Oz and he talked about it.
John Grissom.
Oh, yeah, I saw about that. Yeah, that's not to be confused with John Grisham. I think this guy's like an actor or something, John Grissom.
Full name is Floyd John Grissom, an actor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Upon seeing the photo, Feldman alleged that was one of his abusers.
Mm-hmm.
According to Dr. Oz show, Grissom has an extensive arrest record, including charges for assault, theft, and drugs. Arrested in 2001 on child molestation charges, sentenced to jail in 2003, and is currently in violation of reporting as a sex offender, the show said. Feldman wasn't sure of Grissom's whereabouts, but said he thought he was in Mexico based on his social media posts. Dr. Oz legal counsel said, however, Grissom was more likely in the United States since he had an address in Riverside, California. Feldman called the Santa Barbara police with names of pedophiles in Hollywood years ago, but was told it was out of their jurisdiction.
Wow.
So they got the police so the Hollywood owns the police too. Okay, but with the accusations of sexual assault against film producer Harvey Weinstein, then accusations of the pedophilia against actor Kevin Spacey, Feldman said he wanted to expose the pedophilia rings he has claimed for years based on his own experience growing up in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any more names.
Hmm.
So, John Grissom.
Interesting. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
quite exciting to see what Corey Feldman.
Well, like I said, I know that I think we've talked about it before on this show. I saw a celebrity homes or celebrity real estate or something, and Corey Feldman was buying a new home, and he was very, very concerned about security.
Mm-hmm.
My son is going to be here. Security. I want to know. I want to be able to get to my son's room quickly, just in case, because he had been threatened and had things happen in the past, and he was like, I want my son to have his own space, but I want to be close enough that I can get there quickly if something happens, and I want security.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
that tells us that he's worried over what he's doing, even though he's doing the right thing, but he's threatened, and he loves his children and does not want anything to happen to his kids. He's a good dad.
Mm-hmm.
Which I am so thrilled because, he was in trouble and wild some when he was younger. But he seems he's grown up to be a good man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much it. Trump's going to do an Asian trip, I think, this coming week.
Yeah.
I think he might be en route now. So the tax cuts, did anything come out about that? I saw some stuff, but I didn't really get into that. The tax reform.
I saw something about it too, but I didn't take time to read it at the moment. I did see today a post about I can't remember the number, 400. A big number of documents had been uncovered or released about bin Laden's killing that Obama kept hidden.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that, but I didn't actually read it.
I didn't either, but it was a large number. It was over 100, I think, anyway, documents about the killing of bin Laden, and Obama had stuffed them, and they'd never been released. And I don't know if they have been released now, but they have been discovered and uncovered.
All right. I think we covered the main parts on the national scale. Let's get to the local scale. Well, do you have anything that's local?
No, other than North Carolina had elected a freaking Democratic governor, and he's trying to stomp back down all the good things the Republican governor did in his years. And that my son's kissing at school. That's about the big news from my area. Go ahead, Henry. What have you got?
We were talking about the iPhone 10 earlier. This is this is local to our area. iPhone 10 hits shelves. Many camp out before launch. Apple's latest craze has officially hit the shelves. The iPhone 10 has officially hit stores, and I can report firsthand that many buyers camped out at the Ridgeland Apple Night to get the first chance to own Apple's latest device because I was one of them. Now, Ridgeland is just north of Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, I mean, it's basically County Line Road. There's County Line Road that runs right in North Jackson. That's where Ridgeland is. It's like right north of Jackson. So, 5 p.m. on Thursday night, it was 8th in line. The first person in line arrived early that morning and came prepared with a tent. Some were there to help out a friend, like Raymond Littleton, whose friends returned the favor by buying him a phone as a thank you for waiting in line. Others, like Lucky Luck, the man in the spot next to me in line, were there to be a part of history. This is a can't-miss event because I think that this phone is going to start a trend that all other phones to, Luck said. As the time got closer and the sun began to rise, the Apple Store employees got the crowd ready for the launch with their entrance.
Run away, run away.
Employees began making reservations, and customers were allowed in at 8 p.m. in groups to receive their new phone. So apparently this is a big deal. Everybody's, oh, we got to get the phone. We got to get this phone. It's $1,000, but yeah, we don't care. It's trendy.
You don't think
let's get this.
You don't think the media is overhyping this just to believe that it is a big deal?
Well, of course they are.
Yeah, of course they are.
Just so that more people can go and buy the damn phone.
From
what I understand was that the iPhone 8, they didn't live up to the sales like they wanted.
All the mainstream media has to do is run down Trump, push the liberal agenda, and this is on the liberal agenda, basically, because you can't be a liberal without the damn best, nicest, and most expensive phone out there. My God.
Yeah.
You couldn't go live in a commune out in the middle of the woods and smoke pot and do LSD and let you all work, not 2 days. The liberals these days are way ahead of that.
Let's make liberal communes so you can smoke pot and LSD.
I mean, shit.
That was great. That was hilarious.
It's true, too. Let your youngins run around dirty and half naked.
Yeah, it's called California.
I mean, my youngin, I let my youngin run around in a diaper and get dirty. But, you know, I washed him and put clothes on him.
He has a diaper on. I mean, most of them, they don't even wear diapers. They just let them out naked and everything.
I mean, you know, I saw a picture with like a mama reading a book. They're like 5 head of dirty-faced children going to bed, and some, you know, with raggedy blankets and all that shit. And the man's laid back like, hoo-hoo. This is the life.
Oh man,
and women, the women took it. It was so close to the 50s. They thought, well, hell, this is better than what my mama did, but it wasn't.
Exactly.
Except for the fact they could follow it.
We got some huge news right here. Huge news. Memo released. Full DNC Hillary Clinton agreement made public.
Oh.
Former DNC interim chairwoman Donna Brazile stunned the nation Thursday when an excerpt from her new book was published, in which she revealed that Hillary Clinton's campaign made an agreement with the DNC, technically giving Clinton an advantage over any other Democratic presidential candidate. With the DNC having serious financial troubles, the Clinton campaign agreed to help the DNC out financially in exchange for having direct input on hiring and spending decisions. Friday evening, NBC News released a copy of the full memorandum dated August 26, 2015, revealing deeper details into the agreement between the Clinton campaign and the DNC. The memo is from the Clinton campaign manager, Robbie Mook, and it's addressed to the DNC CEO, Amy Dacey. And it reads, "This memorandum is intended to memorialize our agreement regarding the creation and operation of the Hillary Victory Fund, a joint fundraising committee of Hillary for America, HFA, and the Democratic National Committee, DNC. HFA, Hillary for America, is prepared to raise and invest funds into the DNC via Hillary Victory Fund. In return for its financial support, Hillary for America requires the appropriate influence over the financial, strategic, and operational use of these JFA-raised funds. The agreement was to be in effective September 1st, 2015. Campaign agreeing to transfer $1.2 million from the Victory Fund to the DNC on October 1st, 2015, or as soon as funds are available. Explain that the one of two candidates previously identified as acceptable to the HFA, Hillary for America, for its position of the DNC communications director. States with respect to hiring of a future DNC senior staff, the DNC will only hire candidates acceptable to Hillary for America. Also gives the Clinton campaign complete and seamless access to all research work product once it has turned over the first $1.2 million in funding. And this agreement shall be construed or to violate the DNC obligatory neutrality through the nomination. All activities performed under this agreement would be focused exclusively on preparations for the election primary. Further, we understand you may enter into similar agreements with other candidates. However, many of the activities, decisions, and complete were to take place immediately after transfer of $1.2 million on October 1st, long primary election. That Sanders campaign later also signed its own joint with the DNC, but never utilized it. So there's a memo out here, and first off, why would you rig an election and write a memo about that? It's like, hey, I'm going to have some documentation because you're going to rig this election for me. Documentation is going to come out and bite me on the ass later.
Well, maybe we needed to remind all the people involved that it was rigged so as not to forget.
Yep.
Or, I don't know. What a bunch of idiots. I'm sorry, but I'm matter of fact. Be nice. Say what you feel if you can say it nicely. I mean, don't go around being ugly to people, but damn. How can people be so stupid?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
News.
Especially the people in Washington. How the hell did they get there? They had to take good sense and hard work to some extent to get there. And then you get there and go,
Geez, I have no idea. I don't know. I have no clue. But my local news has to deal with vandalism, and it might be Antifa related. and it's local, and it's not that very far from me. It's in Lewisburg. Police in Lewisburg are investigating vandalism in the city. On Tuesday, October 31st, Halloween night, the department received several calls about buildings downtown being vandalized. A total of 11 buildings were spray painted with fluorescent and white paint. Some of the buildings were a post office, French Goat, Roberts Antiques, and Premier Bank. Officials say they are currently working towards finding who is responsible. Chief Tim Sover of Lewisburg Police Department said he is working hard to find out who done this. We are in the process of trying to develop suspects. We do have some information and a few leads more are working on at this point. And there is a little bit of video surveillance, and we're trying to look at that and see if that'll help us. Sover said, if you have any information on this crime, you are encouraged to call the Lewisburg Police Department at 304-645-1626. And one of the buildings that was vandalized and has some writing on it. And let me read you what the writing says. And I quote, "Punching Nazis is legal, and it's the only way to get into heaven." One, punching Nazis is not legal. It doesn't matter if they're racist, sexist, misogynist, homophobic, whatever. You cannot hit a person. That is assault.
Right.
Is not the way to get into heaven.
Nope.
So either this is a Halloween prank. This is Antifa related, and he invaded by some of the Antifa people tomorrow.
And it's not unheard of for people to go and burn churches or crosses or vandalize.
Yeah.
Trying to put it
9
all.
times out of 10, the hate crimes are just hoaxes perpetrated by extremist lefts.
Yeah.
In fact, there was a dude this week that had
Oh, you are in North Carolina. So did you hear about the tree there?
The what?
The tree that caught on fire
No.
in North Carolina. All right, so there's this tree that's planted in a college in North Carolina, and one of the the tree was planted in the Revolutionary War, and
I did hear about it, but I don't remember the whole.
Ever since. I saw the story on Real News with David Knight with InfoWars. He was talking about that. The tree that was planted there was planted during the Revolutionary War, and one of the communist colleges basically struck a match to it and caught it on fire. And so one of the administrators there was trying to put the fire out, but then it had exploded into his face, so he's severely burned. Was just that the police found the guy and they've arrested the guy. What happened to the guy? I don't know if he's being charged with. He's probably being charged with vandalism. Let me look it up.
Yes, I did hear about it, and I do not know the outcome. I can try and look it up if you don't find it pretty quick. I mean,
this is from WRAL.
It's probably.
No suspicious package inside a car vehicle belonging to the person behind UNC fire.
Yeah.
Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Police on Thursday night said that it was dangerous inside a parking lot, but believe the owner of the car is the same person responsible for the small explosion on University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill campus. In custody Thursday afternoon after authorities saw the device detonated at the Dave Popular tree, which was planted in when UNCCH was founded. Shows a man attempting to put out the fire at the base of the tree, causes a fireball to erupt around him. I heard a large boom, and I looked back to see a 20-foot tall ball of flames. A student, Evan White. White was nearby and ran towards the flames to grab some photos. I noticed there was a professor there who had been injured with burns. Apparently, he was trying to put out the fire and exploded pretty much on him, White said. White said the professor was burned on his face and arms, and his shirt was partially melted. Students tried to help by tossing water on him. Video footage shows the professor sitting on the ground as first responders rushed over. He was in a complete state of disarray, terrified, White said. The fire had been put out by 4:45 p.m., authorities said. The professor was treated for non-life-threatening injuries, thank God. UNC police called the Carborough police following the incident to tell them to be on the lookout for a suspicious vehicle. A bomb squad arrived at the scene at about 5 p.m. and began investigating a 2011 Honda Accord parked in a public lot on Weaver Street. After accessing the car's trunk and thoroughly searching the vehicle, no explosives or incendiary devices were found, according to Captain Chris Attack. At this point, we don't have any indication there is any threat to the public, he said. At this point, like always, we're going to have to operate out of an overabundance of caution for the safety of the public. Roads in the area were closed for several hours Thursday evening, and the area was evacuated as police investigated. As an added precaution, Orange County activated its alert system, warning people about the incident and encouraging them to avoid the area. That Orange County alerts to get people information. We can geographically target through an emergency management. They were great partners tonight, Attic said. Carborough police said any evidence found in the vehicle will be turned over to the UNC campus police. The Dave Popular Tree, which is located in McCorkle Place near the old well on the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill campus, has a legend that dates back to the beginnings of the university. Students said on Thursday night were questioning why would somebody want to set it on fire. Why someone would do that. I'm really confused about the motivation behind it since it's such an important part of our school's history here, said Blake Matthews, student Blake Matthews. Authorities have not released the name of the person in custody. I can think of one thing, since it was planted there, since their campus was founded, racism.
Yes.
It all leads back to racism.
Racism. If it went back to where near the Civil War, racism.
Yep.
I guess you can be
racist. And the legend, I think the legend they're talking about is that if, from what I've heard, and if Lel maybe you've heard of the legend or not, but they said that if the tree falls, that means that's the end of the country.
I have not heard
the legend.
I have not heard that legend. I will go and look it up though. I wouldn't think that anybody who is racist enough to set the tree on fire or try to blow it up would believe that the country will fall if the tree falls down. They just did it because it was a beloved thing of the community.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And
I think they did it because they think because it's a tree, and a tree is it's basically a monument, basically, because it's been planted there. It's been there ever since. They think the monument tree is racist because of who planted it and where it was planted. But go ahead, Henry.
I was going to say, going back to the what happened, you were talking about, Shane, about the vandalism. It's not really unusual to have vandalism on Halloween night.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
That's true. But I don't want to say I'm interested to see what's going to happen tomorrow. I hope and pray, dear God, that nothing much happens. But I know the majority of my real friends, Facebook friends, by real I mean people I actually know personally, but my Facebook friends, I've weeded out most all the Democrats and liberals by now.
Mm-hmm.
By insulting them or they insulted me or whatever. I have very few Democrat friends left. But I've got everything. I mean, and I live out in the country by a small town up in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got water, milk, drinks, bread, food. I've got everything we need to last for days. And I've got my daddy's 30-30. And I got a whole damn another case of bullets. And me and my son and my little dog, and we'll just sit here, and if by some odd chance anybody arrives, damn it, they're on my property, and I'll take them out.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
I think I don't anticipate that happening. I think the problems are going to be in a few or several of the big cities.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
man, like I said, we'll stay right here all day.
Yep.
And and I got a 28 or 45 bullet.
I agree. So I think that's pretty much it. What happened this week?
Out the door and shoot the hell out of you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do a live show tomorrow night, probably around 9:00, 9:30. As soon as we get done with the webcasting dead, as soon as we do that, what I'll do is I'll jump on and do a hangout and give you guys the link. And yeah,
I'll come on if I'm free. I should be, but I don't know. Yeah. But
yeah, I'll even pull up some live streams of the action that might happen tomorrow night and of the riots and everything.
I hope it's not. There's not that damn many of them.
No, there isn't. They have to bust people in. Half of them have probably already been deported by the Trump administration already, because half of them, they're all illegals, so they're having a hard time finding anybody. Yeah.
And but let's pray for Trump. I don't want him to sit on the White House.
Yeah.
Well, let's pray for Trump and everybody.
Absolutely.
And except let's pray for Antifa to not succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But let's pray for our police officers front line.
Yeah.
Especially.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And
okay.
InfoWars is going to do a broadcast too. They'll be covering it as well. So I'll probably be tuning into that. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. It's been one heck of a week. Halloween was this past Tuesday. I had fun. I dressed up as Negan. I won first place in my costume contest.
Yes, you look very scary.
I wasn't that scary. I was Negan it out. This was the first year I've actually worn a costume without a mask. So I was like, talking to people, Negan it out. Some women came up. I was like, yeah, I'm looking for an ace wife. You could be lucky number 8. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
People was taking pictures with me and everything. I'll tell you guys all about it tomorrow night on the Webcasting Dead, because I think it's just it's just you have to do it on Webcasting Dead. You Negan, especially with Negan 2. I'll tell you what happened with Negan 2. It was Negan versus Negan.
I probably
I'm
won't
like,
be.
what?
If I don't watch that show.
That's all right.
But I might come on afterwards for the Antifa after show.
All right, sounds good.
If there's been anything
Yeah.
horrible, and let's pray there's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's going to do it for us tonight. Tune in tomorrow night on my other channel for the Webcasting Dead. We'll be discussing episode 2 of season 8, 101, actually 101, the 101 episode of The Walking Dead altogether. And it was a good episode. We'll get into in depth on it tomorrow night. And then next week, November 10th, is going to be another Not Mainstream. I've actually thought it out, and on the 24th, there won't be a Not Mainstream because of Thanksgiving. I want you guys to have a great Thanksgiving.
Right.
Great Thanksgiving. 23rd, 24th. Yeah.
Oh,
But there will be a Webcasting Dead. There will be a Webcasting Dead. But there won't be a Not Mainstream.
What day is Thanksgiving?
The 23rd.
23rd. Okay.
Yeah. The 23rd. So
that's gonna be Thursday, right?
Yep, that's a Thursday.
Okay.
Yep. But the 24th is on a Friday, and I figure, you know what, let's take Friday off because of Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back on December 1st. December 1st. Man.
Are we gonna do a Bigfoot in there somewhere?
No, not until the spring. Not until the spring. The spring is when Sasquatch Theater will return.
Okay.
Sasquatch Theater will return in the spring, and it'll just be public domain movies. It won't be just ape related. It'll be all public domain movies.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep. So on that note, let's send our thoughts and prayers out to the victims of the terrorist attack that happened in New York City this past week.
Yep.
Thoughts and prayers goes out to Fred Caney and his family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone that was related in that accident. Let's give our thoughts and prayers out to President Trump and his family, and wish him all the best on his Asian trip that he's taking. I think it's this week. This coming week. This weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah. And then let's pray that everybody will be safe tomorrow night with the riots that's planned to take place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And on that note, good night, everybody. God bless America, and God bless President Donald J. Trump.
Trump.
I
Yep.
know.